Hello guys, it's Big Baz. I'm on the Legion Alpha again. Decided to make a video about the new legendary items that they've just added to the game. I mean, these have been data mined for a while, but now they're available on a pre-made sort of vendor that you can just buy them all and test them out. So I'm gonna start off with this Cyan R Charger. Sorry for the pronunciation, but I suck at that. Legendary fighters always take their opponent's head on. What they've done is they've taken the 10 rage generated by Enrage and they've removed it from the game in Legion as a default, but they've put it onto this helmet. So in that same situation now, if I press Berserker Rage, we'd get 10 rage from the Enrage. This works obviously on all Enrage generators, so Rampage, Bloodthirst, etc. So for Bloodthirst crits, we get an additional 10 rage. If we use a Rampage, like with Carnage, it's 65 rage. Effectively, it's 55 rage cost when you take this helmet, because you still have to spend the 65 rage to proc to use the ability, but it'll refund 10 rage from the enrage proc, so it'll cost 55 rage instead. Yeah, I'll just show you an example now, and we've got 10 rage. Otherwise, yeah, this smooths out the gameplay, increases your enrage uptime by default, because it makes Rampage cheaper, because the next Rampage you're already 10 rage ahead of where you would be. So every time you're proccing Enrage via Bloodthirst and Rampage, you're gaining 10 rage, and that's going to increase the uptime on Enrage, increase the amount of Rampages you do. It's a big deal on a lot of situations. So I think this will be really popular. Of course, we're not going to be able to choose which legendaries we get to use, but if you get this one, I think you're going to be pretty happy. Anyway, on to the next one. Next up, we've got a belt, which is Nargentus Vertebrae. If Whirlwind hits 3 or more enemies, it hits them 2 additional times. Yeah, 200% more damage basically from Whirlwind. I'm not sure yet if it works with Wrecking Ball. If it worked with Wrecking Ball and the free Whirlwinds give you 3 Whirlwinds at 200% increased damage, that could be insane. I suspect it might work that you'll get the first Whirlwind, and then the second, as with the Wrecking Ball damage, and then the second 2 will come in with normal damage. It's still pretty good though, still pretty good. At the moment it doesn't seem to work. I've tested the against 3 target dummies, and it says 3 or more, and I get the same results regardless of which belt I'm using, whether it's the legendary or the my standard belt. But I'm sure that'll get fixed if there's any issues. So moving on. So next we've got Kazalax Fugiator's Fury, which is a cloak. Back. Equip Bloodthirst increases all damage you deal by 2% for 10 seconds, stacking 3 times. So you're getting 6% extra damage. It's very easy to keep up. Bloodthirst has got a cooldown 4.35 seconds with 3% haste, and the cooldown on global cooldown scales with haste. So yeah, it's definitely very easy to keep the full stacks. This will be pretty strong, I'd imagine. Again, this is another one of those cloaks, so if you get this drop, probably going to be playing Fury, because the margin will probably be pretty close between Arms and Fury, I'd imagine. And yeah, pretty decent item. I can show you the cloak in action now. This is the buff. We get his Fury. 2 stacks and 3 stacks. Yeah, it just stays refreshed every time you hit Bloodthirst, basically. It's very easy to keep that going. Next up we've got some wrists. Manaroth's Bloodletting Manacles. Equip. You heal 1% of maximum health for every 15 rage you spend. So that's what, like 6.6% per 100 rage, or I think a full rage cost carnage would be around about 5% or just over 5%, depending on how it works. I've not had a chance to really test it against a useful situation to be able to gauge exactly how the rage spending is working, but yeah, it'll be around about a full rage rampage will be similar healing to basic bloodthirst, which is 5% of your health. That's pretty decent. Like, I guess if you take them, it's going to be nice for survival. Let's go back, look at them again. Yeah, for survival on certain fights, maybe PvP. I mean, you're not going to use this over one of the DPS ones, pretty much. I don't think ever. But I guess we'll see when we're working on the fights. But yeah, pretty cool. Now, if you're a Diablo player, you're going to be familiar with these, at least if you play Barbarian. Weight of the Earth, which are a pair of legs, which work exactly like the Diablo legs, really. Well, the Diablo Earth set. All enemies damaged by your heroic leap, but also affected by Colossus Smash. Of course, it's not exactly the same as the Diablo set, but yeah, we get the point. This is gonna be awesome for AoE situations for arms. It doesn't currently work for Fury, which makes sense because Fury doesn't have Colossus Smash at all. But for arms, it's pretty good. I guess if you get these, you're still gonna use them for item level for a while. Otherwise, yeah, they're not really good for Fury. But for arms, yeah, they're great. Let me just test this out. We've got Colossus Smash on all 3 targets. Pretty cool. Gonna be really strong for arms for AoE fights. Definitely some nice RNG protection for those Colossus Smashes. I guess you don't really have RNG and AoE anyway as arms. Saying that, you're mostly spending your rage on Cleave and then Whirlwind, ignoring Colossus Smash other than Warbreaker. You'll be combining Warbreaker with Bladestorm. But yeah, another Colossus Smash, always good. This will be handy for RNG protection on single target as well, of course. It doesn't currently work with Shattered Defenses, which is this year, but I'm sure that's probably a bug. It also makes this talent really strong. Bound in Stride reduces the cooldown on Heroic Leap by 15 seconds because it effectively becomes a 30-second cooldown AoE Colossus Smash, so very, very powerful. But yeah, cool. Pretty cool item. Next we've got Archavon's Heavy Hand, which is a pair of gloves. Very simple. Mortal Strike generates 15 rage. Now it doesn't currently work like that. This is really misleading, but I'll explain how they currently work. So Mortal Strike costs 20 rage, and these generate 15 rage. What it actually does is it still costs 20 rage, but it gives you 15 rage back. Now the way they currently work is it gives you the 15 rage before you cast the Mortal Strike. So if you was to cast it at full rage, let me show the example. If you was to cast this at full rage, we're gonna get there someday. Come on. We're almost there. Come on. No, not quite. So 20 rage it costs, yeah? Still costs 20 rage. What that means to me is that it's giving you the rage before casting Mortal Strike. So obviously if you're already on full rage, you can't gain any more rage. And then it'll charges you the 20 rage price of the ability, so you end up with 110. So if I just do it now. No, I didn't want it. Stop giving me full rage. There we go. I went from 106 to 101 rage. That means it's costing 5 rage. So yeah, these gloves are pretty good. What they actually do though is not give you rage from Mortal Strike. You're not generating any rage at all. They're just making Mortal Strike really cheap, costing 5 rage instead of 20 rage. Or if you take Dauntless, the price goes down to 1 rage. Of course, Mortal Strike costs 16 rage. If you're getting 15, it costs 1 rage for your Mortal Strike. But yeah, these are really strong, really good items. For arms, it's going to be one of the well, you're going to be pretty happy if you get these as arms, I'd imagine. Otherwise, yeah, moving on. Next up, we've got Ayala's Stone Heart. Oh. Equip. Execute is usable on enemies that have less than 35% health, which is a ring. This is really awesome. How good it is will depend on the tuning of execute at the time, because arms to execute just got nerfed, so it's still pretty worth using for the damage bursts, but it's not like super rage efficient ability at the moment. So it'll depend. It's going to be powerful for Fury if it works. At the moment, it doesn't seem to work properly with Fury. But there's a couple of bugs laying around with this, so we're not sure. I think if it works as it says on the tin, then it's going to be really powerful, especially for Fury, because Fury's got what's that? I can't remember what it's called. The stacking damage buff on execute. Every time you execute, it gains 5% damage, and it stacks 99 times. So the faster you can get into that execute phase, the higher you're going to get these stacks. Let me look, where are we? Here we go, Juggernaut, that's what I'm talking about. Execute increases the damage dealt by execute by 5% for 15 seconds, stacking up to 99 times. Which, if you combine that with a ring that allows you to use execute on mobs that have less than 35% health, that's pretty awesome. But yeah, it depends how it's going to be balanced out. Some of the legendaries have been a bit misleading, either because they're bugged or because they don't quite work as you might expect them to. But we'll see. It'll definitely be nice for arms. It's working for arms at the moment, but it'll depend on the fight. Because the other legendaries are quite useful too. But yeah, I mean, I think I can see people going crazy for this one, especially in PvP if it works. Moving on. So next up we've got some boots. Agrimar's Stride. Increases your movement speed by 100% of your haste. This is going to be dependent on how much haste you've got. 3% haste I've got. This is going to give me 3% movement speed. It's not so impressive. I don't know, maybe if you've got some crazy high haste setup and there's a fight that needs good movement speed, or if you're in PvP or for whatever, these are going to have a use. I think they're going to be ones that you're going to want in your bags, if only to play with them. But yeah, I can't see them being used over any of the other ones, because it's not as if warriors got poor mobility anyway. We just charge and jump between targets. So, but yeah, Agrimar's Stride. This one's I guess this could be a generic plate for any plate classes rather than warrior specific. But yeah, Agrimar's Stride boots. So here we've got the last two ones for DPS, which is a ring and a neck. So these are kind of like utility type of items. Anyway, Predas Zavrix Magnum Opus. After not taking damage for 5 seconds, you gain an absorb shield for 25% of your maximum health for 30 seconds. Once every 30 seconds. Now, in survival terms, this is amazing. It could have some pretty good use on certain fights. It works pretty much the same as Second Wind, but we found that in certain fights, not taking damage for 5 seconds is not a difficult thing to do, to the point where we've been able to make a good use of Second Wind as a talent for survival. So for that reason, this is going to be really good. Whether we'll use it against the other legendaries, I mean, if you haven't got the choice, which is going to be the case probably, we're not going to be able to choose our legendaries early on. We're just going to be lucky if we've got a legendary. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be really handy for survival. 25% of your maximum health shield. I mean, it's nothing super exciting, but yeah, that's the job, I guess. And then next we've got Sepho's Secret. Successfully applying Disorient, Fear, Incapacitate, polymorph, root, sleep, or stun to an enemy grants you 70% movement speed for 10 seconds. This is a ring. This is the same as the other one. I guess it'll have some niche situations in PvE, maybe. If it's the only legendary you got, it's still gonna be pretty good. Like 70% movement speed for 10 seconds if you're using, say, a shockwave or a what's it called, stormbolt. Still got intimidate and shout. So yeah, intimidate and shout. Root, I guess. Charge. So yeah, we've got a lot of techniques that we can unlock this with. In PvP, it's gonna be hilarious. But yeah, subject to we can only use one legendary at the start. We can unlock a second legendary slot later, so we can use 2. Possibly later, they said they may unlock more. I imagine towards the end of the expansion, they're going to be allowing you to have maybe 3 or 4. I don't know. But yeah, this is another one. I guess this is another like these two. They're both class generic, a bit like the boots, whereas they could be on any of the classes really. And yeah, that's all of them for the DPS. I'm quite excited about the the weight of the earth for arms, because yeah, I'm a big Diablo fan, so yeah, this is gonna be good. This is because what arms needs is RNG protection on Colossus Smash. It's painful when Colossus Smash doesn't reset, because it's got a 45-second cooldown on the basic Colossus Smash. So if your slams are not resetting that, you're gonna be crying, you're gonna be in pain, sad. But with these, you know, you can have another Colossus Smash with a lower cooldown than the original. If you take where's he gone? Bounding Stride. It's literally gonna be a 30-second cooldown Colossus Smash AoE, but which is as arms as well. You've already got Warbreaker, which is 1 minute AoE, and yeah, it's gonna be good. I can see some interesting fun with this. Mortal Strike generates 15 rage. I wish it worked by actually generating 15 rage, but arms rage generation is already pretty good. So, but I don't understand. Like, I thought that these were gonna be the gloves where you use this Mortal Strike to generate extra rage for more awesome execute phases, which means you'll be using Mortal Strike in your execute phase, but it's not the case, because you're still spending rage on Mortal Strike. Now, it may be the case that doing that is still the most efficient thing to do, because Mortal Strike does a lot of damage for not much rage with these. I mean, 5 or 1 rage is really cheap. But yeah, I guess we'll see how it works out. Yeah. What else? What did I say? That this is gonna have possible. I mean, if we had this in Wars of Draenor, we'd all be creaming our balls off. So yeah, but the execute just got nerfed for arms, so doesn't quite have the same punch. But yeah, there's more tuning to come, so I'm not gonna speculate too heavy. This one, very simple, very easy. Just straight out damage increase. 6% damage is pretty nice. Nothing mega exciting, but there's no difficulty in keeping it up. It's not annoying to keep up like Frenzy, because with the Frenzy you never really want to press Furious Slash. You're like, oh, I have to press it, to increase the. It's a filler. It's your filler. You have to press it, but there are great periods of time where you could go with not pressing Furious Slash at all, which is why Frenzy can be annoying, because you can know, oh shit, it'll fall off. You won't even realize until it's too late. You're like, oh fuck, I gotta press that. Or you'll be mid-blade storm and the thing will fall off. Whereas with Bloodthirst, you're just using it. It's your highest priority, ability. So you're gonna be using it all the time. So you can just press it and forget. But yeah, that's cool. Whirlwind hits enemies twice more. I guess I'll have to train in practice. It doesn't seem to work, like I said earlier. So yeah. But yeah, this is oh fuck! Wait, I'm not stopping the video yet. I was going to stop the video. I forgot about the prot ones. I'm just gonna have a quick look at them. The walls fell. Shield slam extends the duration on shield wall by 2 seconds. That's really good interactive gameplay. It seems like they've taken interactive gameplay out of prot a bit, and then they've thrown it back into the legendaries. It's like you can't generate anywhere near as much rage through your rotation anymore. Yeah, what's this one? Destiny Driver. Intercept attacks grant you when your intercept target and absorb shield equal to 25% of the damage done by the attack for 10 seconds. Yeah, cool. Intercept, intervene. Intercept is the new intervene, combined with charge for prot. I'm not going to delve too much into that. I haven't played much prot, to be honest. Thunder God's Vigor. Oh, Diablo 3. Okay, each enemy you hit with Thunderclap reduces the remaining cooldown on Demolizing Shout by 1 second. If I remember right, Demolizing Shout has got some interesting mechanics involved today, in terms of rage generation and stuff, so that's pretty cool. Each enemy you hit as well, yeah, that could be pretty awesome. We've got Kakushan's Storm Scale Gauntlets. Devastate increases the damage done and rage generated by your next Revenge and Shield Slam by 20%. See, this is what I'm talking about. They've taken away the rage generation of Revenge and Shield Slam to a great extent. And now they've added it into a legendary to some extent, 20%. I'm not quite sure how much they generate right now. I did work it out the other day, but that's on paper. I would never remember. Yeah, that's it. That's the prot ones. But yeah, cool. So this is the future. This is what the future we've got to look forward to. Farming legendaries. Many boars will be killed, I imagine, in pursuit of these. I can imagine just being the first legendary you get, and it's gonna be something like this, and then you're just gonna be crying inside because you know some motherfucker's got this or this. But yeah, Legion's coming. Thanks for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed. Leave a comment, subscribe if you liked it, or whatever. If you've got any questions or anything you want me to test out, I can just leave a comment and I'll test it out and check up a video or something. Anyway, cheers. Bye.